Welcome to this Slightcast dealing with successful job applications and ready-made tips based on research and experience, and this video is going to deal with the job interview itself. This first video will deal with preparing for the interview, and as we've seen before with reading the job ad, very important what you need to do is do your homework. Check the organization that you're applying for and also outside websites. First thing that you can do there, really try to figure out what is this organization doing at the moment. If you happen to know the person that you'll be talking to in the interview itself, try to check them out online. For instance, look at their LinkedIn profile, try to know what they look like, what their interests are, etc. The better prepared you are, the more chance or the more likely it is that you'll feel more confident. If you know any people within the organization or know people that deal with the organization, it may also be a good idea to talk to them to try and find out what the idea of the company is or organization about corporate culture, what are specific norms that are upheld in that organization, things that they really care about. Again, here the idea is to be as prepared as possible. Second tip then is, of course, to take another look at the job ad. Perhaps you applied for 3 or 4 different functions, so it's good to specifically know what this job was about, both in terms of specific tasks, requirements, remuneration, and all the other things. While you're rereading, again, try to look at the key words, the words that you paid specific attention to for trying to work them into your CV and cover letter. These will be the words that you want to try and use spontaneously or semi-spontaneously in your interview itself. Moving on to tip number 3. As we're preparing, there are some questions that you'll be getting, and you can prepare these. Think about specific questions for the function, but then also about traditional questions that you get in almost any job interview. We've given you a list of traditional and behavioral questions. When we look at the traditional questions, you'll find that there are quite many that you can find in a whole range of job interviews, going from how would you describe yourself? Why did you leave your last job? Why did you apply for this company or this function? All the way to, for instance, what qualities should a successful manager possess? Or, if you were hiring a job seeker for this position, what qualities would you look for? You find lots of information like this. The better prepared you are at answering these fixed questions, the better you'll do at the interview itself. So here, it's about doing your homework, going through these questions, and trying to formulate an answer in your mind. Another type of question that you may be getting is behavioral questions. As I've said before, the main thing recruiters are thinking about is, can you prove to me that you really are the kind of person that you say you are? So you will need to, for instance, describe a situation in which you were able to use persuasion to successfully convince someone to see things your way. So again, it's about the past. What did you do in a certain situation to achieve a certain goal? How do you add value? For instance, sometimes it's easy to get in over your head. Describe a situation where you had to request help or assistance. And then you describe very specifically what happened, how you reacted, and why you did all of these things. Important here is to start from that anecdote level. What was happening? What was the situation? What did you do? But at the end of the explanation that you give, to kind of step away, take that one step back and take the analytical approach and make some kind of summary. For instance, you could start your sentence with so what I did was I tried to analyze the situation, go over all the different options I had on the table, and then select the option that would prove or that was possibly most efficient in this case. By making that summary at the end of a question, you always highlight to the recruiter sitting next to you what you're good at and showing your analytical sense as well. So, many questions are out there. Try to look for them. You can take a look at these lists, prepare, and that way you will increase your confidence, and that is also something that recruiters are looking for. Confident people that can prove their claims.